Game Beard.
Now this is a complete easy build. This is for some of you that may lack crafting skills, but hopefully this will get you started. This is an easier build to make. Hopefully this will get you started on making more detailed models in the future, but this will get you into the game quicker and have some fun, because I really want you to enjoy the game and not be halted by any overwhelming amount of craft skills needed to make all these paper models. Anyways, this is a complete mule loader, and you can see it's just flat. It's got like kind of this little piece to hold on to. It's kind of nice. It can stand, but it's mostly flat. And then this is a flat crab, right? So with a missile pod, a more simplified version of the missile pod. So these are quicker to build so that you can have fun playing the game. Let's look at the printout first. When you print these out, you're going to get one mule and one crab per printout. They'll have the same number. This is like a prototype. So it would be like 8. So both would be 8. And I have up to 8 of these. So you could have 8 mules, 8 crabs, and then eventually, if needed, I'll increase the numbers and you can replace them and add more numbers. So this is a blue. Currently I only have red and blue teams available for easy build, but in the future I will consider building or putting out the other teams like Broken Records and Bottled Lightning. Currently, that's not available, but it could happen. So I'm hoping that you'll build these, have fun, and then jump into the model building aspect of papercraft. But if not, anything's possible. So here's the printout. So we want to start here. We're going to build just a crab. The mule is the same build. Same thing. You cut. It has an extra leg, and you'll just fold down one extra leg. But otherwise, they are the same. Okay, I'm going to put this to the side. I already cut out my parts. So here's we're doing blue team. So here's my cutout. I mean, there's a lot of cutting out to do. Usually, let me mention though when I cut out, since you're probably unfamiliar with this. Here, let me get the printout. What I would do is I would cut out mostly like the main edges and scissors first. Maybe I'll show you this when we get to the lift claw. So I'll cut around this for the main cuts. Then I would go in carefully with a number 2 X-Acto blade and cut this stuff out. So I use a combination of scissors and X-Acto blade to cut these things out, because it's still a lot to cut out. I mean, it's easy to fold, but there's a lot of cuts. Okay, so here it is. So what are we going to do? The first thing we want to do is we want to fold on this white line, and we want to fold on this line. So I'm going to do that. Let's see, how is that going to fold though? This is actually going to fold up. I caught myself. So this will actually fold up. I'm going to use my straight edge. Okay, so I just folded it up a little. Then this fold is going to fold down. All right. Oh, and then I also need to fold right on this line. This will be at an angle. Okay, so here I go. Okay. So let's try this out. I'm going to fold this in. Yeah, so you can see that this white part will, it'll glue in there. Shall I glue it now? Maybe not yet. Let's fold this thing. I have this little back fin. First, let's see. What do I want to do? I'm going to fold this piece down first, this little tab. In fact, I am just going to fold that down, because I need to glue it behind first. So that's going to go back there, so I'll glue that down. And maybe that's what I'll do. I'm going to glue these two pieces first. So I'm going to glue that tab and I'm going to glue this thing down first. So just a little bit of glue. So again, the purpose, I would prefer that you build the more complicated models because they're fun and they're worthwhile in the end, but I don't want an overwhelming craft project to keep you from getting into the game. And so I have these, and maybe you're younger, maybe you're like a kid, like 12 years old. Although I got a feeling a lot of 12-year-olds with a lot of enthusiasm and patience may be able to build those other things, but anyways, you can start off easy, and then once you get more comfortable building and cutting and stuff, then you can build the bigger projects. These are kind of nice. It fills in your army too. Maybe you only made 6 of the big models. Oh, anyways, I'm gluing and I'm pinching it down. But maybe you make 6 of the other models and you need a couple more. Well, you can make a couple quick builds, these easy builds, just to fill in for a game before you get a chance to build the actual models. But I mean, this is really it. This is it. I'm going to hold that down. Press in here. Okay. A little there. Now everything just needs to be folded. There will be a cut here. But let's fold. I need to fold this little tab up, this center. Well, a tab, it's a panel, I guess is what it is. It's a little armor plate. I'm going to fold this one up, the center one in the back. So that folds up. These fold up. This little center one, that folds up. Okay. Now, these here, I'll just fold them. These fold down, and then the legs are going to fold down. So I'll just fold those here. I'm going to fold these little back armor plates down first. They go about 45 degrees ish. Okay, that feels good. I'm going to fold right at there's like a knee here. I'm going to fold that down. Okay. Again, maybe like a 45 degrees. I'll fold those. I'll fold those first before I fold up higher up. Okay. Now I need to so I'm going to fold right here. Not here, here. There's like a diagonal line, and I'm going to fold here. Right there. On both sides. So I'll just do that. Okay. Okay. Now, let's build the support first. So here's the support. This is going to be a tab that keeps it from getting squished. I mean, this actually kind of works, but this will give it some more support. So I'm actually going to fold this in half, fold this white tab down, and fold this blue tab out. I'll glue it here, and then I'll glue it underneath, and I'll show you what that means. I'm going to fold these white tabs first. Or, I'll just do this. Oh, I folded it the wrong way. Folds out. So this will fold out. White tab folds out. This tab folds out. Okay. While I'm at it, I'm going to fold the blue tab out. Blue tab folds out. Blue tab folds out. And then it folds in the middle. Okay. So I need to glue this in the center. Okay. Oops. I'm gonna use my table. Oh, I'm surprised. There's a little bit to trim here. Might be shaking my camera a little. That's just because I know you crave action. Oh, look at this. I'm gonna trim this. There. Like, Dave, it's underneath. Yeah, I know, but it's easy. Just for fun, I kind of modeled this as this is like an industrial decoy. So I say it. There's like a little like item number, and it just says it's a decoy, and that's for fun, as if Adam would make some decoys. And then it kind of goes in with this white underneath, right? So that was my thought, to make it a little more fun. I mean, it counts as a loader for the game, but for fun purposes, it's a decoy. So I'm going to add some glue here on this top tab, spread it around. I'm going to add some glue on this diamond. Okay, did I get enough? I think so. And well, technically it would be in the center, so let's see. Looks like I got it pretty much in the center. I'm gonna glue this part first. Press down. Don't worry if it's not perfectly in the center. And then I'm gonna hold this piece down, the blue. So I can imagine this is like a mock-up to like leave out on the field. They wouldn't really need decoys in this world. Maybe, you never know. Maybe for raiders, scavengers, they could use a decoy to lure them out, and that sounds like a great idea for a mission. And then you could justify using one of these easy build decoys. Yeah. You heard it here first. Okay, that feels pretty good, and it gives it a little bit of, sturdiness, or it can stand. Now I have some details to add. Let's add the covering for the eye. So that's this piece. I'm going to fold these two lines and then the back line, and then I'm just going to glue it on. So I shall do that. Oh, I dropped it. I'm sure you saw that. Okay. So when I glue it, I'm just going to add glue underneath this back part. Don't glue these down. It's not worth it. It's difficult, and it'll look good enough. If you're a glutton for punishment, I guess you would, but it's not necessary. I don't do it. And I didn't intend for that to happen. So you just want to center this tab as best you can. That looks good. I'm going to hold it down. So you could build a lot of these pretty fast. Oh, one more thing. I have to glue on the kneecaps. So I'm just gonna, I'll do a, oh, wow, a little too much there. I'll spread it around. I already cut out my kneecaps. They just give it a little bit of, I'll just do two at a time. So here they are. Just a little piece to add on to the end. Oh, that's interesting. There's only 2 bolts there. I didn't include any bolts on the rest of this leg. Just now noticed that. Probably like, oh Dave, you should correct that. No, it's fine. It's good. You know, you want 4 bolts there. Build the real model. Oh, Dave. Yeah, you're fine. If you're really concerned about 4 bolts, which I know you're not, but if you were, yeah, build the actual papercraft model, like the real one. Then you'll get 4 bolts. Or is there 6? I don't remember. There's more than 2, I believe. But anyways, that little kneecap, you know, it adds a little bit of 3-dimensionality. And it's not that hard to glue on. Here, I'll just glue these on real quick. Okay. So there's 4 of these. There will be 6 for a mule because there's 6 legs. These aren't so bad. One thing that I did do is, you know, let me see if I can show you. There's a black outline around these kneecaps, and I I made an extra effort to cut the black line on that edge. I made sure to cut that off so that it wouldn't look like a papercraft model as much. Let's see. Yeah. So, okay, did I finish this thing? I believe I did. So that's done. So that wasn't so bad. Lightweight, decently sturdy, not bad. Now, if I were building this to be to hold a gun, what I would do is, and I'm going to use claws on this, but I would very carefully with my X-Acto blade trim a line right on the edge of this back panel and right here. And that is where you are going to place your tabs for your weapons. And I'm going to have a separate video for easy build weapons, and they go right in there, and I'll show you about that. This particular crab is going to have lift claws. And so I have an extra step I need to do. I need to trim right along this edge, right along that edge, and then I need to trim off this little triangle here. Actually, you could trim off that little triangle even if it's just going to be weapons. So you trim off that little triangle. Can you see that triangle? Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to use my little craft scissors, and I'm just going to trim right up to that point. And then while I'm here, I'm going to trim off these triangle edge corners. Okay. And then over here, this piece needs to move for the lift claw. Okay. And I should probably, okay, so here you can see these can move. I should actually fold them up, so I shall do that right now. I want to very carefully make it so that this can fold up and over. Ooh, that really weakened that. It'll be alright. Like, oh, I don't like that. Okay, make the real model. What are you making these easy ones? Oh, you didn't see that? I was out of camera. Here it is. Okay, looks like that might have been a little blurry. It's okay. So these can move up and down. Those little panels. Okay, now we're going to make the lift claw. Now, like I said, if you don't have to make all of them lift claws, you might want to have like maybe 2 or 3 with lift claws, and then the other 5 or 6 have cuts here so that you can put weapons in there. So it's up to you, whatever you like. Do I have a sample? Well, here's the piece I need to cut out. All right. Now, when I cut this out, I didn't completely cut around everything yet, but I did cut very close to every kind of point that I could. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this in half, glue it, and then very carefully cut away all the white. So it'll remove the white on both sides at the same time. Here's I already pre-cut one out, so it's like this. And not bad. You may watch the other video, or the actual model has many parts that all glue together, like these knives are all separate. This is actually kind of nice. Yeah, I hate to say that some of you may just want to skip, like use this part, like you have less things to glue together. You could still, yeah, that's pretty funny. Well, whatever, if you like this, if this is easier and you want to use this instead of all these extra little parts when you make your regular lift claws, then go for it. Anyways, this is a finished one. Okay, here we go. So I got this piece. I'm going to fold it in half first. It's pretty important that I get this fold right, so yeah, what's perfect? I don't know. Okay, I think I got it. Now I'm going to glue it. Blend it with the orange cap. Try to get it on the edge. Okay. Press down and use my straight edge to really get those pieces flat. I'm going to let this dry while I work on some other parts. Okay, a little bit of glue there. Okay, so that's folded in half. I'm going to let this dry before we move on with that. In the meantime, we have a couple other parts to make. We have a hook. I already cut this in half. It was like this. Whoops, I got too eager. So it's like this, and you cut it straight down the line, and so you have 2 halves. And then I'm simply going to glue these. I'm going to glue these together. This will help hold my lift claws down when they're being stowed. So I'm going to add, oh, got a little bit of glue on me. Oh, well, that's what the napkin's for, I guess. Look at that. Wow. I guess that's what happens with tiny parts. Okay, I'm going to try to position my napkin over there. Okay, let's see. Put this together. Okay, not bad. I'm going to press down. There is a little trim right here on this edge. I'm going to trim off that little triangle. And then I'm going to fold. I'm going to fold right there on that line. Let's see. I'm going to fold it. I'm going to fold it. Okay. how do I want it? I want it to be like this. I'm going to fold that down. There. So it's like that. That way, when I glue it down, it'll be like this. And then this hook will kind of lay down. Okay, that piece is good. I'm also going to glue this thing together. This is the support. This is the support, so it's kind of simple. You want to cut in between that white tab, just to the color. I'm going to fold it here, and then I'm going to glue these tabs to each other, and it'll make like a. Is it an L bracket? Is that what that is? I don't know. It's going to make like a little bracket. I think it would be an L bracket. I don't know. So it's folded like that. Oh, but I have to fold these tabs down too. This is a simpler bracket piece than the normal model, but that's okay. It's supposed to be easier. So this is gonna fold in, and it's just gonna I'm gonna add glue, and it's just gonna glue those in together. So I'm just gonna do that. I'm gonna add glue together, but I'll glue one side at a time. Okay. So I'm gonna fold that. Is that focus? If it's not, I'm gonna fold that in and just hold it, pinch it. And then same thing on the other side. So there's the part. Okay. Well, I'm going to put that off to the side for now, so that's ready. Okay, now it is time to cut away some of, to cut away all of the white, that is. Okay. First thing I like to do is I like to cut as many cuts that I can do with the scissors. It's just easier. But you can't cut everything, but you kind of go for the low-hanging fruit. Like right here, like this is a nice easy cut just with my scissors. And then, you know, over here, stuff like that. You don't have to do this. You could cut everything with an X-Acto blade, but it's faster. Like I'm going to cut that line. You know, I'm going to cut as many of these lines that I can. I'll cut that, you know. This might make that piece go away. Yeah. I'm going to cut and then I'm going to cut this one. Oh, yeah, that's it. Did I cut this one already? No. I'll cut this one. I could probably do more. No, I don't know. I think that's it. So I cut a bunch. Okay. Now, and I usually do stuff like that. Like, it saves time. When I'm cutting things, I usually try to, when I'm cutting a bunch of parts, I try to cut as much as I can with the good scissors, and then I go back and I trim the lines that I can't. Like the reason why I didn't cut this one is because it might cut into the arm there. So I'm just gonna, and I'm not, notice how I'm not using a straight edge for this. It might be good, but if you're careful and cutting carefully, you can do it. It's easier. But if you would rather use a straight edge or a small straight edge, that's fine by me. So I'm just going to cut away these extra parts. There's a little triangle here in the knife. I'm going to cut that away. Okay, oh. Okay, got it. I guess I'll cut out this middle part. I would do, if you're doing, like, if you're making these in a batch or in a bunch, like I would do like 3 sets of these. So I guess that'd be 6 total. Sounds like a pain, but you know, you get into the groove of removing all this stuff and you just do one after the other, you know. I think you save time that way. I could trim that with the scissors. After I'm done trimming all this, I'll check the back and see if I need to trim any extra white off. And that can happen, and that's fine. This still seems to save me a lot of time. I'm only cutting around these lift claws once, which is nice. Here, I need to cut all the way to this part. This blue tab is going to fold in. So I cut to here. So I will do that right now. Oh, maybe I already did, because it seemed like I did. I don't have a short-term memory. It's all good. Everything's fine. You probably noticed there was like 3 or 4 cuts in the same direction. I just cut them all at the same time. I went off to keep spinning my shape around. Did I get everything? Oh, did I not get this? Looks like I did. What didn't I get? This thing? Oh, right here. There we go. And just try not to forget where you need to cut. Okay. There we go. Now, let's flip it over. Do I have a bunch of white? Not bad, actually. But if I did, you know, I would, you know, like if I had a little extra white, I could trim it. But it looks good. I mean, I have a little bit of white on this blue tab, but that thing's getting folded in. So this looks like it's in good shape. Oh, there's one more thing I need to do. There is a tiny, here, I'm just going to do it. There's a tiny little triangle right here on the edge, and it gets cut off right here. So there. Okay, so I have 2 of these. Now, I need to glue these in. So there is this blue tab I need to fold. One of these is going to be on the right, the other one's going to be on the left, and these fold in. So the right one, it'll fold in, and the left one, you know, you have to imagine over here, and it's going to fold in. So I'm just going to fold this line. Okay. And then this will fold the other way. Okay. And these will glue underneath. They are a little too big. They need to be trimmed. These need to be trimmed. So I am going to show you, I'm going to trim it. Let's see, I'm going to trim it like, can you see that? At an angle. It's not really in focus. There we go. So I'm going to do something like that. And I'm actually going to trim a little off this back part. There. You're like, Dave, why don't you just get the shape right in the first place? Yeah, I know. There. So you're going to do that. You're going to do that on both sides. So a decent amount taken away from the front. And not so much on the back. And I am going to trim a little bit of that white. I don't want it to be so, I don't want it so long. Okay. Now I'm ready to glue these in. These will glue underneath that lift claw panel. And it will just, it'll fit there and just make sure it can full go up and down. So I'm going to glue these. Okay. Oh. Yeah, one thing you may notice, I don't have the posts on these easy builds. There's posts that stick out. Nah, not on the easy build. It's all good. This is the easy build. Those posts are extra. So that looks good. I'm going to hold it. Pinching. Yeah, I'll just make it quicker. The posts add a level of complexity. I mean, they look cool. They add a level of complexity, more parts to build and do, but so the easy build doesn't have that. I'm just going, I probably could have held that longer, but I'm gonna let that dry. I'm gonna glue the other side. Okay. This is the part where I bump it off. Okay, I'm gonna try to position this. Let's see here. Pinch it. It's difficult to tell if I glued them, the same distance. I mean, you want the tab to help you figure that out. But did I? I don't know. Maybe. I hope so. Oh, that's cute. They are. Let's see. Yeah, they look okay. Okay. But they're pretty floppy, right? They need that support. While that's happening, well, I guess I'll just get my... Boy, I really feel like I need to hold this down a little longer. Ooh. Okay. So there they are. There's going to be a support beam in the middle. And we already made that, right? So it's this guy. When you glue it, the front, this is the front, and so it's front and top. You don't see the other sides. I'm going to add glue here and here, and I want to glue it to, I'll show you. Basically the front of your claws, and you want to try to hold them in the same position. What I'm going to try to do is I'm just going to glue one first to one side. I put glue on both sides, but I'm going to glue one side at a time. But the glue is ready. Let's see, it's going to be right... Oh, everything's in the way. Right here. Right before that little cut that we made. Let me see if I can hold it and show it to you. There. I'm pinching that thing so that's the best way to make it happen. And you want to spend some time doing this. I'm going to do the bare minimum here. Okay. And now I want to position this. Yeah, they look good. You want to make sure they're kind of in the same. Okay, I'm going to pinch. Let's see. Did I do it? Yeah, it's pretty good. Okay, I'm going to pinch. I'm going to hold it down. I wonder if I can hold this other one. Maybe not. Since this is an easy build, if it's not perfectly, I mean, if it's like close and it looks okay, it's fine. The other, when you make the real model, the intended papercraft model, it has to be more in a proper position because it has to close and, you know, hold it. Okay, this feels pretty good. Okay, so that was nice and easy. Looks pretty good for a quick game. Now there's one more piece we need to add. It's the hook. The hook, oh, I forget exactly where this hook goes. Shoot. It's going to be about, like Dave, don't you know? It's about right here. But let's see. I'm gonna put my arms back. Oh, still gluing. Let's see. No, actually I kind of want it right. Actually, I want it right here. So where is that? Okay. Yeah. I mean, if you put it somewhere else and it worked, what do I care? Okay, I know where to put it now. Okay. So I'm going to add some glue to the bottom there. And where's it going? It's going right. Oh, there's a little bit of course I see that white spot right now. It's going right here. It's a little, there, I'm going to pinch it. It is, you can see there's the end of that plate and it's in a little bit. Let's see, is that about, it's a little more than a quarter of an inch. If it was a quarter of an inch, it'd probably be fine. Pinching that thing down. Here you can kind of see the position. Technically, it's not supposed to be on this black line. Mine is. Who cares? The lift claws are supposed to, like, that's like they go in on that sliding groove or whatever. But you know, the hook, no, it's okay. Okay. So what's the hook for? Well, this is attack mode or picking up cargo mode, but if I want to stow, it takes up a lot of extra space and you can bump into things. So if you want to stow your lift claws, you just put them back. I just hope this doesn't fall apart because I didn't give it a lot of time to glue. And then the hook, I'm trying to be all careful. Let yours glue. But you can actually, like, you just move it around that hook and then that holds it into, it's like a stowed position, so that's where it would be. Normally, you wouldn't need a hook for this because it would just automatically do that, but because it's papercraft and it's a little floppy, we have a hook. But we're going to pretend that this hook is normally for helping to secure cargo that's on the back of that thing. Oh, and it just also happens to help us stow our claws into position, but normally it wouldn't need such an item. So that's it. This is our lift claw equipped crab loader, and it's the easy build, and it wasn't that bad. You could build a bunch of these pretty rapidly. The lift claws take a while. The chassis itself doesn't take very long. Let me show you one more thing though. This has all 4 of its knives, 2 on each side, but the mule only has the bottom knives. So what you do is you trim off the top knives on the mule, because the mule is not intended for battle as much, and so it's meant way more utilitarian, and it's not meant to fight, it's just meant to haul as much cargo as possible. And they don't invest as much into the mules because they can be destroyed. So they're kind of they're cheaper in that they don't have those parts. So that's the easy build for the mule and the mule and the crab loader. This is the crab. I'll have another video about all the different easy build weapons, like the autocannon, sniper rifle, EMP, and the missile pod, all in one video. But this is it. Have fun playing Junk Runners Skirmish.